Assalamu alaikum,
Assalamualaikum
Javed
Javed
sir.
sir.
How are you doing, ji?
Dr. Irfan is also here. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Farhan.
वालेकुम क्या हाल है भाई खैरियत है
बिल्कुल आपकी दुआ है, आप बताइए. All good, all well with you.
माशाल्लाह अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह all
Uh,
quite content.
I think Sirif is Miss Hafsa an alumni or a faculty? I see Miss Hafsa Humayun.
Hi.
Is an alumni.
Yeah, I'm an alumni.
Okay. So we are waiting for other alumni to join in. We have sent invite to over 400-500 people, and let's see how many of them join.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Talib Sab. He's also here.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Assalamualaikum.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
So any of the alumni who is here, Hafsa and Rana, Kazmi, if you would like to tell us something about, in just a minute, tell us some memories about IoBM, and then we will start the session. Any of the alumni?
Sure.
Any?
I'm Rana. I currently lead human resources at Nielsen, AC Nielsen. It's a marketing research company. I was at IoBM both for my BBA and my MBA, and I did that in HR, both of them. Lovely memories associated with IoBM. I was also part of LPSS, which was a literary and public speaking society there. I remember, I think during my MBA, we also did Modern United Nations. I don't remember if it was the first time or the second time, but that was also fun. But generally, I think IoBM has provided a lot of lovely memories. So yeah, I'd love to hear from Hafsa also.
Hello.
Thank you.
I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
So my name is Hafsa. I graduated in 2018 with my bachelor's. I'm still currently doing my master's from IoBM. So in terms of memories, I have really good memories here. Like I have had great friends, great faculty, good grades. So all rounder, really happy with that. Other than that, currently I am an HR business associate at East River. It's a digital advertising agency. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Ji, Farhan Saab, I think we should start. A couple of other alumni might join in, and let's start over and let's discuss. Let's give each one of us 1 or 2 minutes. Farhan Saab, over to you.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. A very warm welcome to everybody for joining us today. This is the Alumni Baithak series is a series that we started in order to connect with the alumni of IoBM. And as we progress, we'll share with you the numbers of how many alumni we have and what they do and all that. So what we did was that we did our first Baithak with different chapters of alumni. And sorry, I've got a background. And the purpose behind that was that we look at different chapters and we engage our alumni who are there in different parts of the world, and we kind of bring them together to bring them back and connect them again to the college. So in this regards, we've had different chapters of alumni that we've done. We've spoken to the Middle East chapter, the ones based in the US, Far East, and other countries, and then. Apart from that, then we looked at specific interest groups and we engaged them. So we've had an alumni of the finance, a conversation of the finance alumni. we've had a conversation of the marketing and communications alumni, and now we're doing this with the HR alumni. So, it's been an interesting experience, and we thought that we take this opportunity and hear out from you, because one thing that we know for sure is that in these times of uncertainty, from a job perspective, from an opportunity perspective, the COVID, post-COVID, I think the HR fraternity is something that really needs to come together and really support not only other alumni, but also students who are now graduating from from the university. So with that, on that note, I'd like to start the conversation. Welcome everybody once again, and I'd like to now request Kamran to share some thoughts, and then your opening thoughts, and then we can move forward. Ji, Kamran.
I think, so this is Kamran Bilgrami, Manager Alumni Affairs. So I'm also looking after Executive Education and Incubation Center at IoBM. I've joined, it's been 1.5 years, and it's an amazing journey, connecting with all the alumni from different sectors, different parts of the world, and within Pakistan. I think I should invite Talib Saab if he is here. Talib Saab, he's not here. Dr. Irfan, if you would like to say a few words as a welcome note, as Talib Saab is joining us back. Dr. Irfan. Farhan, your mic is mute.
That's okay. I was just asking my son for a glass of water.
Okay.
I think I can give you. Ji, Dr. Saab, over to you, Ji.
I'm sure you have not flown through this UAE rocket. I'm seeing a nice background.
No, I haven't. I just like the thought of a new horizon on my background, actually.
Okay. I think Talib Saab has joined in, but I would like Dr. Irfan Haider to please welcome the students.
Just hold on, just a moment. Okay.
Not the students, alumni. Dr. Irfan, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Everyone, I think I would like to welcome you to this Baithak. I think it's a very interesting initiative launched by the Alumni Association, led by Mr. Farhan, and ably assisted by the Alumni Manager, Mr. Kamran Bilgrami. I think it is going to go a long way in establishing concrete relationships with our alumni. Some of the things that I am really excited about and we need to enable in the next few months are the, I think, a more interesting interaction and engagement with the alumni through guest speaker sessions. I think all these Zoom meetings and lockdown, one of the fortunate outcomes of this lockdown, obviously there have been so many unfortunate outcomes also, but fortunately this has enabled us to use this technology, find out how it is done, how do we interact, how we engage. And I think it's a very interesting and cost-effective method to address the students in a class, so we can have many more interactions with the students. I think over here we have Dr. Shagufta Ghauri also. She's the head of, she's now the head of management and HRM department, Dr. Shagufta. And I would actually ask her to establish, and she has been around IoBM, I think, over 15 years, I think, somewhere around that time. So she knows tons of alumni, and I think she will be instrumental. And we have around 150 sections in fall of under the management of the management and the HRM department. And I think getting one or even 2 or 3 guest speaker sessions through the Zoom connectivity is very much possible, very easily enabled, can be done. And I think that will enrich tremendously the instruction of the students. Some of the other things that have been made possible and that can be made possible through this lockdown related our understanding and use of the technology is that we can also have some of your projects that those you would like our students to do. So we have been doing these projects through the capstone projects. So capstone project is a whole one semester thing, but I think we can now go ahead and have you sponsor some of the class projects also. So even in these class projects, the student can be doing some valuable work. Groups of students can be doing valuable work to help the alumni contacts in the industry, in their work, in these in particular areas that they are interested in, and also giving exposure to our students of experiential learning of real life projects. And I think this experiential learning of real life projects is a very important thing for the development and also stimulating the interest of the students. And nothing stimulates the interest of the students more than a practical experience and practical exposure and the real life problems and the real life challenges that are there in the industry. So over to you, Kamran.
Thank you, Dr. Irfan, for the insights. Talib Saab, if you would like to say a few words before we move on to the session. Talib Saab.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening to the alumni, and I see some of the faculty members here, and of course Farhan, president of our association. So as you are aware that we are now trying to activate our alumni for various reasons. I mean, some of you who are living abroad, you must be knowing that universities do depend on their alumni for various activities. A lot of universities have huge endowment funds available, established by alumni. And then, of course, there are other reasons that we need our graduates to come back and contribute. So initially, of course, we are not looking for any endowment fund or anything like that, but what we are looking for is for you to actively participate in various activities, whether it has to do with academics. You can come as a guest lecturer, you can come as a guest speaker, you can come as a mentor to students. So there are various avenues with which you can link with your alma mater. If you're working in an organization in Karachi, we are very keen to work with you regarding our capstone projects. We are very keen to link with you as you are in HR, link with you in terms of our internship program, where we can send our interns to your organization. Being a graduate, I'm sure you can guide them in various areas. So as I've said, there are multiple ways where you can contribute, where you can, even if you're sitting abroad, if you're abroad, that really doesn't matter in this day and time, where everything is digital, everything is online. We are, I don't know whether Dr. Irfan mentioned this or not, that we have been conducting online classes for the past many months now, and we good to see little Farhan. So, so we, we have, in a way, have gone digital. Even our admissions, you will be happy to note, was totally done online. Our applications were submitted online. We did not have a test. We used a very unique substitute for a test that we asked our applicants to submit around 3-minute video telling us about their career goals and why they want to join IoBM and why BBA or why whatever program they were going to join. And those videos were assessed by a panelist comprising of 2 faculty members per panel. And based on those videos, they were shortlisted along with their percentage in inter or A levels. And as you know that this year, it was something unique that there were no A levels exams. So there's still a lot of confusion on A2 results. And I mean, a lot of people are saying that A1 results will transform to A2s. And some are saying that a lot will depend on school assessments and all that. But at the end of the day, it will be CIE which will decide on what grades students will get. Intermediate, it's a simple thing. They have said that we'll promote everyone plus 3%. So whoever gets whatever first year marks were, if it was 65% in first year, then 3%, so they get 68%. So that's how what we did was that with the video, we combined their percentage in A levels and inter, and then we shortlisted them for interviews, and all interviews were conducted online on Zoom. So again, 2 panelists interviewed each candidate, and just yesterday we have circulated our merit list, but again, you'll be happy to note that it has not really affected our admissions. Actually, there were more applicants this year, knowing that they might have to take online classes even in fall. Even our summer, right after spring, when we conducted our spring classes in online, there was some fear that our summer enrollment will go down, but it did not. Actually, it went up. There were 400 more students this year than last year. So we are digital now. So we are not really worried whether the government will allow the university to open on September. The new date now is, of course, September 15th, whether they will allow us to open then or not. Even if they do allow, I know that they are going to have strict SOPs, which means that they'll say that don't have 40 students in one room, you need to split, you need to have multiple sections, which of course becomes very expensive. So what we are planning to do is maybe have a blended type of which we were planning to do anyways, as per our strategy, to have blended type of teaching that we'll have maybe 50% we'll continue online, and then 50% smaller classes we'll bring them on to our campus and conduct those classes. This year, we are also planning to have virtual convocation, because I don't see 2,000 to 3,000 audience or 3,000 plus audience coming in and attending convocation. It might get very risky. So we'll see. So again, as I've said, that we are moving towards more digital type of methodology, teaching methodology, for which we have, I think a lot of credit goes to Dr. Irfan and our faculty members to adapt to that, to that type of a transformation from conventional teaching to online teaching. So those who are even sitting abroad, no issues. You can always connect with us online. You can come as a guest speaker online. We'll bring you on Zoom online. So again, even if you're in the Middle East or if you're North America or in Europe or Australia, you can still connect with us. I think I won't take much of your time. I'm always very pleased to see our alumni, and pleased also to know how well they are doing in the corporate world. I don't know whether you know the good news or not, that this time we got the highest accreditation ranking for our business school, CBM, and that is W category. There are only 7 universities in Pakistan with that ranking. So now we have a 4-year accreditation from NBAC, which works under HEC. So that was, an excellent reward for all the hard work that our faculty members, deans, and rector have put in to make CBM one of the best, and IoBM overall. Of course, other departments are also now moving towards the excellence. HR, towards the end, I would like to say, was one of our late president's favorite area. When we established this institute in 1995, when our first classes started, we were the first business school, and I can very confidently claim that first business school which had HR as majors. Mr. Zafar Usmani at that time, I think a lot of you have taken classes when Mr. Zafar Usmani worked with us. At that time, he was with American Express Bank, and we came up with the curriculum. I still remember that the first group were maybe 4 students who enrolled for specialization in HR. 3 were girls, 1 boy, because it was not very macho at that time for boys to be in HR. But now it has become such a professional field that I think there are more men now in HR than female, because it's an important link within the corporate, within your organization, HR, in terms of training, in terms of development, in terms of recruitment, in terms of retention, all that comes under HR. So it's a very challenging and very technical job nowadays. And, during our days, it used to be called administration department or personnel department, but now I think there are more better terminology for HR. Whoever was graduating from CBM were getting jobs right away in HR. I think I can very safely say that the majority of the organizations in Karachi will have at least 1 graduate from CBM in HR, at least 1. There are multiple graduates in HR in organizations like AKU. AKU will have multiple graduates from CBM in their HR department. But HR has done extremely, extremely well, and now they are at, our graduates are at, they have become directors. I know people working in Dubai in that position and at other places. So HR, has really, all of you have done really well graduating with this major. And I wish all of you very best, and I hope that once things are more normal, that you will visit our campus, you will visit our alumni office, and you will take part in activities that hopefully will take place. This is our 25th year of establishment. So Alumni Association is planning to have multiple events, not this year, but hopefully from 2021. And I hope that all of you will participate. And if you're living abroad, or if you're living out of Karachi, whenever you visit Karachi, please do visit our campus and meet us so that we can show you around, and also, try to involve you in various activities. So thank you very much, Kamran. Thank you very much, Farhan, for asking me to talk to our graduates. And it's always a pleasure to do that. Thank you very much and all the best. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Talib Saab, for this. Before we move on, can I ask a small request to everyone? If you turn on your video, we will have a nice group photo. It may be difficult for some of the ladies, but it's a small request. Videos, please.
Kamran, sorry, I'm unable to do it because Talib
Sure,
Sam,
it's
Assalamu
perfectly
alaikum.
fine.
Actually, I'm on my farm. It's too dark over here.
Gigi, it's perfectly fine if. So I'm taking my first screenshot. Smile, please. A victory sign, maybe. First screenshot done. Just a second. And second screenshot, a victory sign on anything. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Thank you very much.
I think it's good to see Molvi Saab. I think Molvi Saab is connecting from the States, I guess. So it's good to see him there.
He's here, sir. We will be asking him to say a few words in a few minutes. But before that, I will take 3 or 4 minutes. I would like to share my screen. So technology is something from which we got access to alumni, and most of you we have invited over LinkedIn. So this is this small presentation is most of the data is from LinkedIn. It is live data. And yesterday I was browsing all the HR alumni who are working across globe and within Pakistan. So we have a decent 10% population of HR, and it is one of the top 5 subjects or alumni, covering over 1,200 of our graduates in different organizations. So as Talib Saab just informed you, 2 or 3 weeks back, we are among the top 7 universities in Pakistan having this W category from National Business Education Council. So in all, IoBM has issued in last 25 years 1,389 degrees to over 12,000 graduates. 16 of us are PhDs, and almost similar percentage is divided between undergrad and grads. And as we are browsing the alumni, we got to know that 90% majority are in Pakistan, and some are in Australia, United States, UAE, Canada, and we have a decent population in Middle East as well. And here is a slide. It's live data from LinkedIn. Numbers may vary, but these are the top employers. As far as top employers are concerned, Standard Chartered, there are 45 people in Standard Chartered. Farhan, by the way, is the president of the Alumni Association, and he works at Standard Chartered. HBL and Aga Khan are the biggest employer of IoBM. And as I informed you, so this is almost 10% of our graduates are working in, and this is the subject wise, so where they are working, real data from, live data from LinkedIn. So our biggest group is obviously marketing, sales, and business development. They cover almost 20%, 25% of the population. And the second biggest is human resource. So again, 10% of 10% of the alumni have studied human resource when they were studying with IoBM. So here is a profiling from LinkedIn. So as we are crossing 25 years, so majority of the alumni are at a manager level. The CEO and entrepreneur stream you're seeing here is from the business side of stream. They are mainly from SMEs and family businesses. And as we move, I think in next 5 years, we will be seeing one or two or couple of CEOs from the multinationals as well. So these slides are provided to me by Dr. Shagufta. She is now HOD HR at CBM. So IoBM offers 5 programs around HR, BBA, MBA, Diploma, MPhil, and PhD. And some of the collaboration, the most recent collaboration is Pakistan Institute of Balance Scorecard. We are offering their qualification, and at a later stage, these qualifications will be part of BBA HR program, and Society of Human Resource and this interpretive simulations. So we have, I think, simulations as well related to HR. I requested Dr. Shagufta to give us some insights around what subjects currently students. So based on industry demand, and I'm sure there is a focus group happening once a year or twice a year around what are the requirements of the industry. And these are some of the subjects on diversity and inclusion and workforce strategy. These will be added. There are talent and analytics, for example, subjects added to our BBA HR program, MBA HR program. And I think all of you are part of this society, a very active society. They host Zenith Leadership Conference every year, job fairs, blood donations, and many other activities. Some of the glimpses from these society activities last year before the COVID happened. Eureka Fair and Relive Now. This is one of the HR student who is won Women in Tech Award from Nest.io and other, and she is working in health solutions. And we have capstone projects around HR. Over 250 capstone projects for over 150 companies have been delivered by the students. And these are the glimpses from the capstone projects. Now the alumni activity. So last year in April, we started off with one alumni activity in yes, this right picture at Arts Council. We hosted 400 alumni with friends, families at Arts Council. This was Anwar Maqsood's drama. And from there on, last November, we inaugurated the alumni office at the new SSK building. So as Talib Saab has invited all of you, this office is for you whenever you drop by to Karachi, or if you are not here, or you are in Karachi, visit us. This office is open for you. So we started a range of activities within alumni affairs. One activity is Lessons for Leaders. This is engagement on emerging subjects, emerging topics with industry leaders and alumni for the general interest of the audience. So students, alumni, faculty, and the corporate professionals attend these sessions. We have this first club, IoBM Cycling Club. We have started this last November, but COVID happened. And once a month, this activity was happening with over 100 alumni, again with friends, family, faculty participating. And at a later stage, our next door neighbor, Tufail Group, donated 100 cycles, gifted 100 cycles to us. And we are the first cycle-friendly campus. And once the lockdown, the campus activities are resumed, the student, faculty, staff, management, alumni will have access to these 100 cycles within campus. So as Farhan and Talib Saab and Dr. Irfan informed you, we started off with with engaging alumni this Ramzan and hosted a range of alumni from different parts of the world and from different sectors. So these are some of the screenshots. Yours will be added in the next Baithak. And you can apply for the new alumni card, which gives you free Vouch 365 one year subscription if you are in Pakistan, and range of discounts. We are coming up with alumni portal. Soon you will have alumni portal available. You can join these official alumni social groups, and there is an alumni WhatsApp group. WhatsApp number. You are in. I just shared this alumni HR WhatsApp group link on the chat. So if you are not there, please join. And we are waiting for the new normal to return. So glimpses from the old and new campus. These are the new facilities from Media Center. So here I am, over to Farhan. But before we start off with the conversation with you, I would like to introduce some of the team members from alumni and EMAC who are here. Sumaya, Faiza, and Media. Just a quick introduction between the three of you, and then over to Farhan.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Sumaya Mithani here. I work as Officer Alumni Association with Mr. Kamran Dilkrami, and I'm also alumni IoBM. I graduated in 2019, and whatever like you want to connect back to IoBM, you can connect to me, and I'll link you back to IoBM. Thank you.
Faiza.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Faiza Hassan. I'm a graduate of 2010 and did my MBA in 2011. I work in the Executive Education and Management Excellence Center, and thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Mehdia Dharejo. I also work with EMAC and IoBM Alumni Association. I am a BBA graduate of 2019 and I'm currently pursuing my master's from IoBM only. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Farhan. Thank you everyone for listening to us.
Thank you very much, Kamran. Thank you very much everybody for your for the introduction and the comments. So now, and we'll go around the table and we'll introduce each other in terms of tell us which year you graduated in, and where you're working currently and how the journey has been, briefly, and then we'll have some more conversation around what we can do and how you can contribute, and or how the alumni or how the institute can help you, in your professional careers. So I'll just start by introducing myself because I just realized I haven't done that as well. So my name is Farhan Ahmed. I did my master's from the 4th batch of IoBM back in 1999. And I joined Nestle as a management trainee in sales. I worked through the sales rank. I was with Nestle for 5 years. Then I moved to HSBC on the product and the marketing side. I was with HSBC Pakistan for about 8 years. My last role with them was as head of marketing and corporate communications for Pakistan. And then I joined Standard Chartered Bank back in 2012 as the head of external communications for Standard Chartered. And that's a role that I continue to do. It's been about 7 years now. And that I'm with them, and I look after their external communications, or now their communications portfolio, internal and external for Pakistan. So that's a brief about me, and we've been on this exciting journey to develop the element for last to sort the data out, get things done, and then now we feel that we're in a stage that we can actually do an outreach. So with that introduction of myself, what we'll do is I'll nominate people, and then we'll just kind of go and ask you to introduce yourself, and just tell us what you've been doing, and when you graduated, what year, and what your experience is like, and then we'll take the conversation forward. So if I can first request Maha Zahid to start off.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thanks a lot, Farhan. I'm a graduate of BBA 29 back in 2005 from IoBM, post which I joined UBL as a recruitment and resourcing officer, while I joined the MBA program and graduated the MBA in human resources in 2007. Post UBL, I moved to Multinet Broadband as an assistant manager HR, worked with them for a year, post which I was hired as an HR business partner for ABN AMRO and RBS. So I looked at the integration of the organizations, worked with them for good 5 years, moved to UAE in 2010, where I was hired as an HR executive with Altair Group. You must have heard of it. It's something similar to the Al Futtaim Group. I was looking at all the brands, all the luxury brands over there, like Bloomingdale's and Harvinicals. Worked with them for a good 1.5 years. Then I was hired by Mashrik as an employee engagement manager. So I had to develop the whole department of employee engagement for Mashrik. Worked with them for good 5 years. Got Qatar and Egypt as well under my wing, including UAE. Post Mashrik, I moved to FWU Thakaful based in the IFC as an HR manager. And there again, because I had the experience of merger and acquisition from Mashrik, from RBS and ABN AMRO, so we had to acquire a local broker. So we did that. Post which now I worked for a healthcare organization called New Country Healthcare as their people and culture manager, heading HR. Been with them for good 6 months now. Joined them in pandemic. It's a vital sector in, of course, you can say the globe right now. So we provide multivitamins and medicines to everyone. And it's been a great journey, honestly speaking. I was, and I'm of course the council member for Internations for UAE as well. So it's been a great journey because I love connecting people. I love connecting to people. And I think IoBM has given me wings. So let me just put it that way, that I am one of the first few students of Sir Zafar Usmani as well. And I still, have my Zoom sessions on various different topics as far as, human resources is concerned. And they're all free. So you're all more than welcome to join them. I can always share the webinar link for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Maha. That was quite interesting. So good to know, a fellow banker, ex-banker now, you are, and, so it's interesting. Thank you very much to know about, and I'm sure if you share the link, there will be people who will be joining in and, hearing you speak. Okay, moving forward, can I request Alina Kirani, please?
Hi, am I audible now? Yeah, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thanks, Farhan, for nominating me. My journey through IoBM was tremendous and, created such a huge impact in my life, which is, something unbeatable. I started off my journey with IoBM back in 2011 and graduated, did my BBA back in 2015. I joined a pharmaceutical company as an officer human resources. And along with that, I started my master's from IoBM, both in HR, right? I completed my master's back in 2016, and I'm still working for a pharmaceutical company in human resources. I joined there as an officer human resources, and now I'm currently working there as an assistant manager human resources. I'm working for Farm Evo. It's a national pharmaceutical company. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
I have been interacted with IoBM through different channels because I look for recruitment portfolio. Recently, IoBM has started their project for like career fairs and employer branding. So I'm being part of it as well through both, because nominating my, representing my institute, and along with that also my employer, both on the same platform. So it's been a wonderful journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Farm Evo. I have some good friends at Farm Evo, Jamshed Saab and Harun Qasim and all these people. Yeah, so we connect socially. Talib Saab ko pata hai, so we like connect quite frequently on different things.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I also joined IoBM as a visiting faculty, thanks to my mentors there, because they not only motivated me but helped me a lot, in taking up this as a challenge. And I, alhamdulillah, did it pretty well. That's what I believe.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful to know that, you came back as faculty.
Yeah, because my mentors,
I think that's
really
one of the advantages, when you come back
to the institute. True.
Very nice.
Your
very
mentors,
nice.
your faculty members, your mentors can, really recognize the talent which you have sometimes, right? That's what I believe.
No, absolutely. No, I absolutely agree with that. Thank you for the introduction, Alina. We've got
Thank
Amna
you so
Asif
much.
next. Amna, you're up next. Thank you, Alina. Thank you. Amna Asif has left. Amna, are you there? Okay, can we have, okay, let's have, well, while Amna comes back, can we have Saira Gabol now? I see Saira Gabol. Ji, Saira. Hello?
I think you're on mute, Saira.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, great. So, yeah, I graduated from CBM in 2003. I got my first placement through CBM at NIB. At that time, NIB was NDFC. So they were doing the whole merger and, it was a very interesting time to join them. But basically, I entered the financial industry through that placement that CBM offered me. Stayed with them for a year, switched briefly to Standard Chartered. And then I moved to UK to get a master's in HR. I graduated, came back, joined HSBC Pakistan as head of learning, moved to UAE and joined the regional team as regional learning and development manager. Then I moved to a local group. I was heading their leadership and talent. And then moved on to Arcadis Middle East, a multinational in design and engineering. Spent around 10 years out of Pakistan, and I've just moved back not that long ago. Joined HBL as head of learning for South, and currently I'm a head of HR in the microfinance industry for a European bank, Advanced Bank Pakistan. So definitely I think that, CBM not only gave me, my first platform, but also like an exposure into the HR world. It was the first, HR at that time was relatively a new field. So, I remember we used to have teachers who were from the industry, Ms. Nafisa was there and a couple others. So they ignited that whole interest in, human resource development, which became like, a lifetime of a profession in HR. So I'm very grateful to CBM for that. And yeah, returned after a long time back to Pakistan. So it's definitely really good to connect with, everybody, who's part of the alumni group. So looking forward to, having a lot more of these conversations and see how we can mutually all benefit each other and the students who are, now part of CBM and graduating.
Thank you, Saira, for that. And I completely agree. I think that's one of the fundamental, drivers behind getting the HR fraternity of IoBM together is that how do we create, in these times, how do we create value for our students as well as for our alumni who are out there and who are not, have gotten into a difficult situation vis-a-vis their jobs, and also that is a conversation that definitely we would like this group of HR professionals to really take forward and help us, place the new graduates as well as the alumni in different, with different opportunities that may be in your organization or that may be in some organization that you know. But I think that's one of the fun probably have out of it. So moving forward, G, we've got a very distinguished personality with us. He's a very senior, very respectable individual, and I'd like him to share his thoughts with us today. Can I please request Mr. AQ Molvi Saab to please share his thoughts with us? G Molvi Saab, if you can.
Can you hear me?
G, we can hear you now.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. It's great to go through all these interactive seminars you have been having. I've been following it for 2-3 last episodes, and today I got this information in time to join you. It is 12:30 noon in Atlanta, USA, where I am confined today. As far as the COVID situation is concerned, the South and the West of USA has shown a research, and there is an increase of about 15 to 30% in the cases of COVID. And that has changed the whole model of business in USA. And most of the schools are closed till 17th of August. And I think they have decided to now go on online classes for all the schools and the universities. And I was very happy to know that IoBM has taken a lead in the online classes, and it is one of the institutions which has effectively implemented the LSM and distance learning in Karachi. I congratulate the management, and I congratulate Mr. Irfan Haider for starting this and being the leader in that. As far as my contact with IoBM, I started teaching about 19 years ago, I think around 99 or 2000. And I was the first teacher to take a class in the new campus, which is now the IoBM campus. As for the HR, today's model is concerned, I think it offers a great opportunities to the young people, because in COVID, I think you are going to see very small organizations making big business decisions. I think we are getting away from those conglomerates and big businesses, and now the model will be that you will be having more smaller business which are taking place, and this is true in the recent research in USA. And I think this is where we, as our entrepreneurial wing in IoBM, should also look into that aspect. And inshallah, in future, I will be able to contribute more on the subject. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Molvi Saab, for enlightening us. I think it's an absolute honor to have you with us and share your thoughts. So, बहुत shukriya aapka, and we know that you're in the US and there's a time difference constraint as well. So, thank you very much, and please.
Thank you.
Stay with us, and we will try and get more once we get into the second round of conversation. Thank you very much. So next on my list is Myra Akhtar. Can I request Myra Akhtar to please share her introduction? Ji, Myra. Okay. Myra, we can't hear you or anything. I just move forward. We'll come back to Myra when line kind of gets better. Can I request Hafsa Humayun, please, now?
Yeah, hi, my name is Hafsa. I am currently working at East River. It's a digital advertising agency as an HR associate. I graduated from my BBA from IoBM in 2018, and currently I am enrolled in my MBA at IoBM. Yeah, I have a pretty short. I also did an internship at EMAC for when I was about to graduate from IoBM. So yeah, I have a very short work history.
That's very nice. That's very nice. Inshallah, the working experience will increase with time, and you get more opportunities and you go more places. But nice to have met you, Hafsa, online. Thank you. And so moving forward, can I now request Javeria Beg, please, to give us her introduction? Javeria Beg.
Yeah, hi.
Yes.
All right, so I'll be representing the faculty. All right, so I joined IoBM back in 2013, and I've since been part of the management and HR department. And the experience has been absolutely wonderful, because the kind of learning and growth opportunities for me as a faculty that I've had, and the opportunities to really experiment with curriculum, develop it, stretch the boundaries, has been absolutely tremendous, especially when Dr. Irfan ke initiative pe kaam karte hue we introduced Capstone. I have a lot of students here representing the alumni, and it's really wonderful to hear a lot of them share their own experiences and their journeys. I remember the painstaking discussions and the tears and the problems and the wins that I've shared with my students, and that's absolutely been wonderful. We try to grow and to like stretch ourselves as much as we can. हम बहुत consultative participative approach रखने की कोशिश करते हैं. We have curriculum development meetings, we have curriculum mentors appointed from the industries जिनके साथ के हम regularly we sit together, we kind of like share our views together, what can we do about the curriculum. बहुत सारी इसके अंदर changes and suggestions आई हैं, जैसे अभी भी माहा ने भी एक suggestion दी, which is very welcome, and that kind of like helps us continually to grow. We हम अपने path divert कर रहे हैं towards more digital based learning, towards more analytics, and so all of those advancements that are coming into HR, and be ready for that. We're in conversation with SHRM to kind of like help us upgrade our HR curriculum, basic HR curriculum. Interpretive simulations ka bhi wo tha. We've bought simulations, and we're currently in the process of designing our own simulations to augment certain courses, especially around strategic HR and some other high value added courses. So I think we try to sustain development and learning, and to like upgrade the curriculum as much as possible. And I'm just proud of everything that our graduates have been able to achieve. I've been part of the graduate outbreaks outcomes since 2013, but it's just amazing to see so many people representing HR alumni before that, and it's just absolutely inspirational. I'm so happy to have been part of this.
Thank you very much, Juveya. Thank you very much for sharing your comments here and for joining us today. Moving ahead, okay, I think Myra, after your connection is good now, so you can go next. Myra. Okay, while we wait for Myra, can I request Kamal Gul, please? Kamal Gul. Give her introduction.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum.
Am I audible enough?
Ji, bilkul, you're absolutely audible.
Yeah, so this is Kamal Gul. I am faculty in HR department. I have joined as a research assistant in 2016, and I joined IBM in 2014 as an ample student. Currently, I'm enrolled in PhD, again in HR department, and now I'm teaching two courses. One is organizational behavior, and other one is POM. This is my introduction.
Thank you very much, Kamal. Thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Okay. Moving forward, can I now request Mirza Kashif Beg to give his introduction?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, it's a pleasure to reconnect with my faculty, and it's a pleasure to see how IoBM is progressing and how it's adjusting with the time. Secondly, while my introduction is that I did my MBA from IoBM in 2015, and I started working at Hilal Foods as a management trainee in 2016. Ever since, I've been at Hilal Foods only, and I'm working there in the capacity of an HR business partner currently. And well, that's about it from my introduction.
Thank you very much, Kashif. Thank you for that short and sweet introduction. Moving ahead, are you there? Are you back online? Is your there? Can you give an introduction? G Myra. I think Myra's experiencing technological difficulties right now. Okay, so moving ahead, the next person is somebody who was with me in college. So, very happy to see her after a very, very long time. And, it's always good to connect with old friends. Hamari class monitor thi. So, Muzna, how are you? I hope everything is good. If you can share your introduction with everybody.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible enough for everyone?
Walaikum salam. You're absolutely
हाल खैरियत से? I am Muzna Shah from the class of 1999, MBA 4. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. Allah ka shukr ehsan. I graduated with majors in MBA, HR and MIS in 1999. Alhamdulillah, during my MBA, I got a job at Pakwith Investment Company as an officer in HR and IT. After 1 year serving there, I jumped to Pfizer Park Davis, and I worked there for another 4 to 5 years till February 2004. During that time, I was a visiting faculty at College of Business Management, and I was teaching them the subjects of human resource management as well as salary and compensation. In 2006, after my marriage, I had moved to Islamabad, and I worked for Instaphone and Pakcom Limited in 2006. After that, I took a break, and I couldn't work because I kept on moving with my husband to different destinations. But now we have come back to Rawalpindi, and we plan to settle here permanently. So now I will be looking for some job in HR. And that's about it for the moment. Let's see. I'm getting back into the market, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. Wonderful, Muzna. Nice to see you after a very long time. Take care.
Yeah, that's true.
Take care. Thank you. Thank you for
Thanks
joining us.
Thanks to you, Farhan. You got me inside.
Hey, dude.
It was really nice to see everybody.
Okay. So moving forward, we will continue these these conversations and these connections. This is just a first off to kind of break the ice and for people to know each other. But I think there's a lot more to the conversation that we need to take forward from this forum and this platform. So, moving ahead, can I please request Quba Akhtar to please give her introduction?
Hi, this is Quba Akhtar, and I graduated in 2019 doing my MBA in HR. And Javeria Beg, she was there as my mentor. She guided me through my capstone project. Basically, my career started off from my capstone only. While we were doing our capstone, I was hired as an intern at Smile Industries Limited. And from there, I was promoted into a management trainee and then an officer. And right now, I'm leading the recruitment completely.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. That's very nice and good to see somebody from the confectionery industry. That's very nice. Yeah. Thank you, Quba. Okay, Ji. Moving forward, we've got Rana Kazmi. Rana, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi. So I look after Nielsen's Human Resources Department here in Pakistan. So I'm a country leader for HR. I joined Nielsen as an intern placed through IoBM. So I've been there for the last 8+ years. And yeah, I look after the function now. I've worked as an HR BP as well as within the talent engagement and development function, and Nielsen's global team of about 14 to 15 people that work on creating training content across various countries. I've also worked in East Africa for about 4 to 5 months, where I was based for a short-term business assignment, again within HR, and trying to look at HR policies for the 3 Eastern African countries. So yeah, for IoBM, again, I visited for employer branding sessions, some interview sessions as well. I think mock interview sessions that IoBM had organized. So it's always been good reconnecting. And I'm really looking forward to all the guest speaker sessions and things that you've been referencing. I think it's great that the team is working to kind of build this alumni group and also leverage this, because I really have always felt that this is potential that we need to be leveraging. It's also good for us to be connected, to have a network to tap into, to be stronger as an IoBM fraternity. So very pleased to see this and happy to be a part of it.
Thank you very much, Rana. And you completely resonate. Our philosophy behind the whole thing is that we need to come out stronger as a fraternity, and I think that's one of the fundamental drivers behind getting the alumni, behind all the efforts that everybody's putting in, is that the fraternity needs to come together as an alumni base, as special interest groups, and do good for work as a fraternity base. So thank you very much for that, and good luck. And
thank you.
Okay, ji. Moving forward, let's give Myra after another chance, because Myra, I hope your net works now. We can't hear you, but you're unmuted. Hello. Chalo. Well, we can't hear you. Come to Uruj Ahmed, please, in the interim, while we try and be.
Thank you, Farhan. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Assalamu alaikum, all the mentors and teachers and the fellow alumni. So I graduated, I did my MBA back in 2016, and I started my career right after. Started with as a trainee with GSK, and worked my way to a business partner with Halal Foods. And one of my ex-colleague, Kashif, was just joined in today. I'm currently working as an HR business partner at RB, and at Reckitt, I'm handling, obviously along with the business partnering role, I'm also handling talent acquisition and training and development. So it's always nice to connect with our alumni, teachers, and I think that love and nature we receive from the CBM, from our university, from IoBM, could only be said in one word, that whatever we're doing good in our lives, and when we're doing well in career, I will always reach out to Ms. Javeria Beg. She's right on the call. And I remember telling her we got through any assessment round, any stage in my career. This is always I used to reach out to. And I think that is where we contribute. We've got always had good mentors, amazing mentors. And I think we'd like to give back. And that's what I've always tried doing it. Whenever it's an empty batch, I make sure I'm there to help them out. Similarly, for any students who would like to get in touch with us for any career advice or any project related thing, I'm always happy to help, and I am still happy to help to and contribute to IoBM. I've been teaching as a visiting faculty, not at IoBM, but at another private business school. So that connect's still there, and I believe I'd like to contribute to IoBM as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruj. And I'm really sad at the fact that you've been teaching somewhere else, but other than IoBM. So I think you need to come back to IoBM as well and teach as well. So thank you very much, everyone, and kind of get to know people and to know the fraternity. So I just hope I've not missed out anybody. I know I have. We still have Shagufta Ghauri with us, and other than that, have we missed out any of the alumni? If I've missed anybody out, please give us your introduction. Okay, great. That means I haven't missed anyone. So आज का जो हमारा main मकसद था वो एक तो ये था कि like I said, to kind of get to know each other, get to know what the other fraternities like, who's where in terms of in terms of what in terms of IoBM alumni. I think the other conversation that we want to that I would like to go around the room and ask views on are two things. One thing is that like I said in the beginning, that everybody's going through a difficult time. How do you feel that the IoBM HR alumni fraternity can help with identifying jobs, B, creating opportunities, or something like that? Any good recommendations? How you would want us as an alumni association to come out, help in giving data, in giving ideas? How can we increase this engagement with the HR fraternity to create opportunities for our alumni as well as for our graduating students? This is an open question. Please either raise your hand or anybody can just unmute their mic and have a conversation. I'd like to hear some at least 4 or 5 good views around and good ideas and suggestions on how we can improve the network going forward. Whoever wants to go first.
Can I, Farhan? It is Shagufta Ghauri. Can I?
Ji, bilkul.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. And before I start, I would like to thank KB and his team for providing us the opportunity to reconnect and interact with our alumni. I wanted to say, when you were speaking, I am also an IoBM alumni. And I did my MPhil in 2014, and in 2019 I received my doctorate degree. And recently, as you know, that I am the head of the management and HR department. And I just wanted to, related to what you were asking, I just wanted to make a comment here. When KB was presenting his slides, he showed you the slides that the courses which our department are offering. And we're also in the process of developing few courses. So I would like a few of our alumni to be a part of a curriculum review meeting. And this meeting usually takes place once or twice in a semester. And then I want people, our alumni, to come and give their opinions regarding the development of new courses. I was reading the chat where Maha Zahid said about employee engagement, which is again a very promising course. So we want to take insight from the industry experts, which are our alumni, to let us know what are the courses and how we can further improve our courses and how they can contribute in the development of our courses. And secondly, I would also like to add here and request the alumni to, they should come forward and help us in the current student, and help our current students, by bringing forward our valuable capstone projects. Because capstone projects we have been doing for MBA, it's been a long time, but nowadays from fall semester, we are starting for our BBA program also. And it's just not that if you're located in Pakistan, then you can help us out. Even if we have our alumni who are settled overseas, can also connect with us. Because, as Talib Saab mentioned and Dr. Irfan mentioned, that we have gone virtual. The most of our classes are online. So, by getting projects, and, that would add value to our students, because these capstone projects actually gives them a real life understanding of problems and issues which industry or organization is facing. So I want help from alumni from the side. And, because heading the department, and I would like to connect to most of the HR alumni who are present here. I would drop down my email also. So that, even in this COVID-19, I know it's a very difficult situation, and we are taking, online classes, we can have alumni as guest speakers also. Because, when students who had been a part of IoBM, they connect very well with the students. And, and when they give their practical examples, the students are very much interested. So I want two or three things from you people. Like, I want you to be a part of our curriculum review meeting according to your feasibility. I want you to, help us out in getting us some capstone projects which our students can do. And, to be a part of our classes by being a guest speaker. That is all. So that is all from my side. I would not take much long time, but then I would drop down my email address, and I want to connect to the alumni because that's very, very important. That's all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And trust me, I did not forget you. लेकिन मैंने ये सोचा था कि we'd keep the best for the end and for the last. And we'd ask you to do a closing remarks as well, which we will ask you to do actually today. Closing remarks. But thank you very much for sharing those very valid points. So I guess the floor is now open for people who would like to comment on the contribution to the to the curriculum, to the capstone project, as well as to the contribution towards the overall helping other alumni in terms of job opportunities and business opportunities. Whoever wants to go first.
So Farhan, if I may add here, I get a lot of alumni who give me a call and ask me how exactly do we survive in the UAE market during the pandemic, especially when they don't have a job or they're not growing in their careers, because it's very common in the UAE that you get into a job and then you don't get promotions. I get a lot of students who call me up and they ask me that what exactly should their strategy be to grow within the organizations. So my only recommendation to them is to communicate with their line managers, because a lot of people don't communicate. They find it very difficult to communicate with their line managers. So the first thing is definitely to communicate. And the second thing is learned as per my own experience that, at times you have to move on to a new organization. If one organization is not really, understanding the importance of you and not growing you, then you have to, look for a job somewhere else. And how do you look for a job is through LinkedIn. So you have to, ensure that your LinkedIn profiling is so strong that any recruiter would actually go up when they go on a research, they can actually see your profiling. And for that, you have to make sure that you have the premium account. So you cannot just be a normal, user who's using the LinkedIn account and looking for a job, because there's so many thousand others who are looking for a job similar to you. So how would you be different from those? And you would be different by the fact that if you have a premium account, you can actually write directly to the recruiting line manager, and you can have 13 emails in a month's time. That's one. Another one is to create your network. So when I came to UAE, I developed my network of Pakistani HR professionals. We started off with 10 people, and today we are 52. So we have 52 HR professionals within UAE. We're working at different levels, coming from different educational backgrounds, coming from different industries. These are the people who help us out to understand that what current policies should be, implemented. For example, in the pandemic time, that, what would be the work from home policy and so on and so forth. So when I have a network of HR professionals, it's much easier for me to recommend my alumni, you can say, fresh graduates to them. And then that's the way that, from word of mouth and from, a reference, people can actually recommend your CV, and then you can get an interview. So that's definitely one. As far as the curriculum is concerned, I've just recommended this to Javeria to add employee engagement as a subject, because honestly speaking, pandemic, no pandemic, employee engagement is extremely important for any organization. I've, you can say, moved Mashriq from a 3.80 out of 5 to a 4.36 within a time span of 5 years. And they've won the Gallup Great Workplace Award for 4 consecutive years. So that's how important employee engagement is for any big conglomerate. And that's the main reason, places like HBL, places like, you can say, I'm sure Standard Chartered also used to use Gallup survey. I'm not sure whether they use it now or not, but all of that is very important. And that's why it's very important for them to learn it in, their education. Because I learned it the hard way. I learned it, when I was just asked to swim, even if I don't know how to swim. But at the end of the day, I personally feel that whatever I learned in college really helped me implement things, especially during the, you can say, the merger and acquisition time of ABN AMRO and RBS. As the first Mani was the person who I took the change management course from. So I could connect the two. I could actually say, okay, yeah, you know what, I've learned this and I know how to do it. So, and that's exactly how it really helps you, and it gives you a lot of confidence, in the world outside. So I've been, in the UAE for 10 years, and it's been a great journey for me because I've been switching industries, I've been switching roles from, from an HR business partnering to an HR executive to an HR manager to an, employee engagement manager and to a people culture manager. So at the end of the day, all of that really matters because when you network, one of my few webinars is on the topic of your network is your net worth. So network is what you need to do. So that's exactly what I would tell all of the IoBM students. Don't just network with people within your inner circle. Try to go out, and that's one of the main reasons I am also the council member for Internations, because it's another platform which will actually give you an exposure to various different nationalities coming from various different backgrounds. Naturally, I'm not sure whether Pakistan has Internations or not, but other countries do. So if somebody is in the UK, they can easily go and connect with people through Internations. That can be like a platform that they can actually use. And these are the places through where you can actually build your network. Once you build your network, it becomes really easy to find a job, and if somebody knows you by having a lunch or a dinner or having a bowling game, they will definitely recommend you because they have known you as a person. And then what is really needed is for your CV to be pushed. And then it's your journey where you start your interview and so on and so forth. So I hope I haven't taken too much time. Thank you.
No, that's okay. Perfectly well. And I think I'm going to separately connect with you on the premium LinkedIn account because if you're not looking for a job, I really couldn't tell why I should get a premium account and just continue with a premium. But that's another conversation some other time. We've got one person who's just joined us. And I saw a very, एक color का mask नजर आया और एक आदमी नजर आया पहने हुए, and I was like, okay. So, Farooq Siddiqui, can you introduce yourself? तस्वीर जरूर on करना दोस्त. Farooq, I go very long.
Assalamu alaikum. My apologies. Actually, I'm driving at the moment. Can you hear me, Farhan? Farhan bhai, आवाज आ रही है आपको?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Thank you very much for thank you very much for having me in. I'm so sorry I'm driving at the moment, but I would try to contribute as maximum as possible. Thanks to Kamran for inviting me in. I happen to be a student of BBA for 2005, and I have been a headhunting consultant since last 10 years almost. And I bring an experience to consult and place the best talent around in more than like 30 countries so far. And on top of that, it's good to reconnect with the alumni. Thanks to Farhan for that. And it's good to see a lot of old colleagues, old candidates, old clients within this CBM, I would say, CBM group, not even IoBM. We recall it still as CBM. CBM happens to be very much close to our heart still. In fact, I just saw TK as well. So TK, I hope you are doing extremely well, and it's so good to see a grace of white hairs in your side. And again, that from my side, I would be more than happy to reconnect again and again. And I hope once this COVID gets in, would like to, inshallah, have a face-to-face interaction with all the buddies above. So over to you, Farhan.
Absolutely. We will interaction once, things kind of turn back to the acceptable normal. I don't know whether there will be a normal again, but the acceptable normal once we get back to that. So we look forward to that. Thank you, Farooq. So going back to the conversation at hand. And so curriculum advice in terms of recruitment advice and other things. So Maha shared some very valid views and her points. Anybody else would like to go next and
Farhan,
have a
if I may.
conversation around? Jirana.
So two things on my mind. One was, I don't know if we already do this as IoBM, but I was hoping that we would have like a database of the alumni who obviously want to be included. And if that could be shared with us as HR people or recruiters, because a lot of times I'm not just hiring for fresh graduate roles, right? I'm hiring for lateral roles. And to be able to tap into a database with a relevant, current, updated work profile or a number would be good for me and give me more access to these like 1,200 or whatever people that are there on LinkedIn. So that's one. And secondly, also if IoBM could play a role in like I understand what we're trying to do in terms of corporate linkages, but also in terms of mentoring people for startups, right? Like how can we as industry professionals get together and help somebody who wants to start a business of their own? So whether it's through an incubation center, whether it's through just mentor-mentee connections, getting that out to people. So if they want some marketing advice or some HR advice, they can come to the institute and be linked to the right person to maybe start a business, create more jobs, create more opportunities for everyone.
Thank you, Rana, for that. And so I will ask Kamran to go in the WhatsApp group and post. We've got the entrepreneurial and the entrepreneurial side of the whole thing, which is the executive development and the entrepreneurial development center, EMEC as it is called, and it is the sole purpose is to incubate teams, to kind of provide mentors. So there are some of us who are on the advisory board at EMEC, and we're trying to now take things to the next level. We've got I think about 10 or 12 students who are enrolled and who are there in terms of who are incubated there. So that's a very valid direction that I think we need to take into. And Talib Saab is also here. So the IoBM vision for students is that they would ideally like about 25% of their students to be entrepreneurs in the next 3 years. 3 years, I believe, yes. So over the next 3 years, they want a 25% shift of their student base to be, job providers rather than be job seekers. So that's a pretty decent sized number coming from the kind of batch size that IoBM has at this point in time. So absolutely, we're there, and any other input from that side, we'd love to take it offline with you, on the entrepreneurial development side. G, anybody who would like to go next and share their views? So sorry, some of the things we're responding to now, some of the things we will take the conversation up, when we go back into the WhatsApp group. So वहाँ पे हम इस conversation को continue करेंगे. अभी हम चीजें जो है ना, we're just taking input, I would say, from people right now. G, who'd like to go? Muzna, you'd like to go next.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum. There was one major point which I wanted to bring to your notice was that in the corporate sector, there are a lot of mergers and splits going on in the industry, whether it's telecom or whether it's pharmaceutical. I know it firsthand because I went through 3 different mergers and splits: Pfizer, Park Davis, Pharmacia. Then it was Parkwith Investment Bank and Mizan Bank. They were splitting. Then I worked for Parkcom and Instaphone. They were splitting. So what I feel is that mergers and splits are a very different and unique situation, and they need different types of talents, skills, and attitudes. And I think a specialized course designed keeping in focus these trends should also be included in the curriculum. It will help the students of CBM a lot. And secondly, I would also like to emphasize that there should be a link between MIS and HR, because when I graduated with an dual majors of HR and MIS, everyone would say it was a very weird combination that I had chosen. But Alhamdulillah, what I felt was that wherever I went for job, that was what they valued most. They said, oh, we want to computerize our human resource, and you are probably the only one with a degree which could link a software, our softwares with the human resource that we have. So I think it would be very beneficial for the students of IoBM if these 2 courses should be included. One linking MIS with HR, and the second having focus on mergers and splits and different kinds of situations like these. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Muzna. And before we take somebody else's view, I think there's one person, Myra Akhtar, jinka ke net is having some, she's got some connectivity issues. I just read her introduction as well, so that she knows that she's part of it and we're listening. And we're there with her as well. So Myra's from the batch of 2009, and she says that she's proud to say that Sir Talib was her first boss, and it's been more than 11 years of experience of corporate. And her first job was with IoBM, and she's currently working with Pfizer Pharma as the HR manager, and has been associated with IoBM for the last 13 years as alumni, staff, and visiting faculty also. So inshallah, next time we will definitely hear you and see you in terms of giving where you'll be able to give your introduction yourself. So thank you very much for joining. Gee, anybody else who'd like to contribute? I'm sorry, in the interest of time, I think what we'll do is we'll take about 2 more viewpoints, and then I'd request Ms. Shagufta to formally say thank you, and we'll close the session. But we will continue this conversation in the WhatsApp group. So if you're not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group. Let's continue this conversation and build on these points that we're sharing right now. Right? Gee, who would like to share their comments on either, on the things, on the conversation points? Any takers?
Farhan, I think your
Farhan,
mic.
we cannot hear you. I think your mic is on mute.
Sorry. Yes.
No problem.
I was. Thank you very much. Sorry, my mic was on mute, and I don't know till when I was audible and then when I was not. So, so if anybody would like to share, their views on the conversation that was happening, or we can close the session today, and we can take up the conversation in the WhatsApp group. So if you're not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group. We will, actively take up all the discussion points that we've highlighted today. We will take these up further, and we will see how we can, work together and, mutually benefit each other. So with that, can I request Ms. Shagufta Ghauri to please, give us a formal thank you and her closing remarks, and then we can say thank you to everybody. Thank
you very much, Farhan, and I would appreciate the comments made by our alumni. And I just wanted to put in, Maha had talked about that, what about introducing HR analytics course? So I need to tell you here that in 2017, the department has offered an HR analytics as a course, and it is doing a very good job. The students are taught how to play with data and technology. So there's one thing which has been added. And I would also appreciate what Musna has said, that she wants us to, come up with a course where there could be an integration of MIS with HR. So I have made a note of this, and which I would definitely look into it. And I would also like to second what Myra said about the course of diversity and inclusion. This is also, if you would recall the presentation made by Kamran KB, it had this as an upcoming course, which we are working over it. And I would also like to take the advice of Musna regarding the course on merger and splits. So we would definitely look into it, and these are very interesting courses, and I got excited as I heard about them, So I would also seek their advice and, support in this. We would design this, and then we will have a review committee meeting, and in which I would invite them to, give their insight. And I would also like to formally thank everyone for coming together. And I would also like to thank KB for organizing this virtual meetup. And I'm looking forward to many of you helping us in the future. So that's all from my side. Have a good, it's a good evening. Have a good, late good evening. Thank you very much for making up for this event. I know it's a weekend and still you took out time. It is highly appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gupta. And trust me, we've done a lot of Baithaks, but I think this was one of the most one of the most intellectually stimulating ones in terms of the kind of input that we've gotten and the kind of conversation points that we're taking with us. So thank you very much, everybody, for for contributing and sharing your thoughts and helping us think more in terms of how we can leverage from this work group. So before we say goodbye, before we say thank you, can I request Talib Saab for for his last words on the conversation that we've been having. Ji, Talib Saab, if you could just share your thoughts.
Again, I think it was very interesting conversation that took place. I think some really nice ideas, suggestions, and I think we need to incorporate advice from our alumni who are working in the corporate sector, because they have that practical experience now to help us set our curriculum for future graduates. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and we hope to see all of you very soon. So good night and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, Talib Saab. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. It was a pleasure. Very valuable conversation. We will continue to be connected on the WhatsApp group, and we shall, inshallah, keep picking your brains on how to do things differently and how to do things better. Thank you very much for joining us, Ji. Allah Hafiz. Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you, Ji. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you, Ji. Allah Hafiz.